Our little podcast here, the Gloria Velez podcast on Vlad TV. Now, some of you may know what this is about. Neo recently came under a lot of scrutiny and a lot of praise because of comments that he made about the LGBT stuff and kids and all this kind of stuff. It was a little bit ago, but I'm gonna go over it now. I'm not sure if I watched the full thing because it's about 5 minutes long. This clip, but I did watch at least some of it. Anywho, I'm gonna start it.
I have no issue with the LBGT. I have no problem with with nobody. Okay,
Right.
love who you love, do what you do.
Exactly.
I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman, and it wasn't but two genders, and that's just how I rocked.
Me
Now,
too.
you could identify as a goldfish if you feel it.
Right.
I
I
don't care.
agree.
That ain't my business. It becomes my business when you try to make me play the game with you. I'm not finna call you a
Right.
goldfish, but you want to be a
Exactly.
goldfish, you go be a goldfish. It's all good.
Amen.
Look, man, I think that's the biggest problem because I've been thinking about it a lot. Let me look up pride flag. This one right here. Now I don't know. Okay. So you got the rainbow. That's for all the queers. Every last queer. If you're queer, you're right here. Then you got the trans flag right here, right? The white, pink, and blue. BIPOC. So it's covering a lot of bases. Before it used to just be, hey, it's for the gay niggas. Now they got everybody. I don't even know what that is. What is that? I don't even know what that is. What is this circle? This purple circle with the yellow triangle. I don't even know what that is. But whatever. And me personally, I feel like it's an attempt for the T's of the LGBT to just rope everything into their movement so that it's undeniable. Oh, you disagree with trans stuff? You're a homophobe. Huh? You disagree with trans stuff? Well, we know that BIPOC trans people are the most likely to be poor. And so if you then you hate black people. What? And you can even see it with, because I was arguing with some people one time about this, with the Nick Merckx leave the kids alone tweet controversy. All that nigga said was leave the kids alone. He didn't say anything about gay niggas. He didn't say nothing about trans people. Nothing. And what did they come with? He's homophobic. The amount of times I saw that, I said homophobic. How do you know he just doesn't have a problem with the trans shit? You don't even know what they were going to teach in that school. But it's all just roped in. It's all just roped in. You see, black people's struggle was, I don't like the way that you look. I don't like the way that you were born. So fuck you, black person. He said, hey, that's not cool. Eventually, niggas said, all right, cool. Gay people's struggle was, I don't like the way that you were born, and I don't like what you do. Because if you didn't do it, nobody would even know, right? If you didn't do it, nobody would even know. So really, it's, I don't like what you do. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that people should be homophobic and treat gay people bad. What I am saying is, there's a difference between somebody not liking you because of the way that you look, being prejudiced against you because of the way that you look, and being prejudiced against you because of the things that you do. There's a difference. It's not the same shit. One is more crazy than the other. And then we have the trans people. Oh, sorry. Gay people said, hey, listen, man, if I'm doing my shit with somebody else, it's really of no concern to you. Just let me cook, and I'll let you cook the way you want. Nigga said, all right. For the most part. Nigga said, all right, for the most part. You get married, all that. Here comes the trans people. They came on the scene. They said, remember the gay people? And we all go, yeah. Remember the black people? And we all go, yeah. And they said, our shit is like theirs. So, you know, the same way you rock with them now, rock with us now. And they scratched their head. They said, oh, okay. And the trans people clapped their hands and they said, bet. Now listen. You gotta let me into the bathroom that I want to go into. Niggas, huh? You gotta let me compete in the sports I want to compete in. What? You gotta call me a certain thing. A certain thing that you don't even believe, that doesn't even make any sense to you. Huh? And they want to pretend like it's all the same shit. So, I say all that to say, niggas talking about the LGBT and all that kind of stuff. Bro, it's really not even about the LGBT. It's just about the T's. Keep it a bean. That shit is crazy. It doesn't make any sense to a lot of people. Maybe it does make sense. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe we're all stupid. And it's perfectly logical. I don't think it is. But that's what the main problem is. Nobody has beef with the G's and the B's and the L's. Really. Or at least if they do now, it's because the T's. Oh man. They're fucking up that movement. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I mean,
Well said.
it's just we live in a weird time, man. We do. We live in a time where a person will have a mental breakdown in front of their camera.
Right.
Wait, let me white balance.
That's crazy, right?
What the hell is that? Like if you are of sound mind enough to find the light
Right.
and
Exactly.
then break down,
Exactly.
ain't nothing wrong with you. Cut
Right.
that- man.
No, there is something wrong with
Whatever,
you.
there's something wrong with you.
Right.
But ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, man.
Right,
it's just- I
right.
don't
You're
know.
you're adding to it. It's all how we deal with life.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and a lot of people want pity, self-pity. And I don't
listen,
like that.
that was one thing that was not allowed in the house that I grew up
Mm.
in. It's like, okay, get your cry out,
Right.
give that its moment. But once it's done, keep moving.
That's right.
We're not gonna sit and dwell in sorrow. We're not gonna sit
No.
and dwell in anger. We're gonna give those emotions the moment that they deserve.
Amen.
We're gonna respect those emotions. But then we're gonna get up and continue moving because it's not about the fall. You can fall a million times. You get
Amen.
up 1,000,001. That's the way I was raised.
Me too.
Yeah, like, all right, that hurt. Go ahead, cry.
Now they pamper, oh my God, and
Trigger
let's go to the
warning.
Clearly, Neo's like a old school kind of guy. How old is Neo? 43 years old. Yeah, so he's kind of, he's kind of an old school kind of guy. Again, this is my first time watching the full clip, so I kind of want to fast forward to try to find some more of the LGBT stuff. I don't even know if he talks about it. Actually, yeah, no. I think he does talk about it a little bit more, so I'm going to try and fast forward and find some of that.
Like, comedians can't tell jokes no more. Literal job is to joke house by yourself.
Well, that's what they
Listen,
want us to.
That's what they want us to do.
But
My
I'll
generation,
be
there were no
damned.
trigger warnings. Okay, you got up and you kept moving. That's
Right.
kind of.
We just washed it off with the hose outside.
I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
Lost control.
if your little boy comes to you and says, "Daddy, I want to be a girl," and you just let him rock with that, you just let.
Right.
He's 5.
Right. And where did he get that
If
from?
you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's gonna do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
Right.
When did that happen?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that.
And to medicate these young kids that are 5, 6, growing up and knowing that it affects their brain, it affects their organs, it makes them sick, but they're not allowed to do drugs, they're not allowed to do alcohol. But
Right.
we can medicate
He
them
can't
up.
drive a car yet, but he can decide his sex.
Right, right. What sexual orientation, and he can cut off his pee-pee, and that, to me, that makes no sense
And
whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, a lot of this is kind of standard for a lot of people. It's not really legendary. It's not really revolutionary in the thought process. It's just more so a lot of people were happy or surprised, depending on where you fall on it, that Neo, somebody who has made a lot of money in the entertainment industry, and I believe to a certain degree still works in the entertainment, maybe not even to a certain degree, I'm sure he still writes for people. Somebody like that would speak out against this stuff. A lot of people were shocked, happy, surprised, whatever, about that. And yeah, obviously I agree. I think the only issue is, right, by the time, if you're a dude, by the time you turn like 12, if you don't get started, it's up for you. Cause like, let's say there's like a spectrum. because clearly being trans is a mental illness. So there's like a spectrum of mental illness, right? There's some people who are so schizophrenic, they got to be locked up somewhere. There's some people who are schizophrenic enough where it's just like, look, they got the diagnosis, but shit's not really crazy like that for them. There's different levels of autism that people have. There's different levels of Alzheimer's that people have, PTSD, cerebral palsy, like Tourette syndrome. So mental illness exists on a spectrum, right? And on one end of the spectrum might be a dude who's like, yeah, being a girl would be kind of cool, but like, I don't know, it's not that deep. Like, I'm not like yearning. They look at the process and they're like, it's too much work. It's too much work to actually try to transition to be a girl. And then on the other end of the spectrum are people who are like, if I do not get this surgery, and if I don't get these hormones, and if I don't look like a woman, if I don't walk outside and people say, oh, that's a girl, if that doesn't happen for me, I'm going to kill myself. If there are people on that end of the spectrum, look, I believe in God. And I think one of the most important things, probably the most important thing, is human life. So I don't want anybody to kill themselves. So if you're on that end of the spectrum, then yeah, we should probably get you what you want. But the problem is, and this is the problem of the fucking trans movement, there's no discrimination. It's all just trans. Because people don't recognize it as a mental illness. They recognize the spectrum, but they recognize it all as being equally valid. It's not all equally valid. There should be a lot of discrimination. People should be pushed away from being trans. And if it's somebody who cannot live life without transitioning, then they should get the treatment that they need. And that should be determined by psychologists that have created some sort of like system or rubric, diagnostic approach to be able to figure out who is so crazy that they kill themselves and who's just a little crazy and kind of, oh, it'd be kind of nice to have tits, right? They should be the ones to try and figure that out. But because of gender affirming care and all this dumb dog shit that trans activists are pushing, we can't figure that out. So now it's just like, well, we just got to push back against the whole shit. I just wish that people were just a little bit more discriminating. Like, it's just so, everything's just been dissolved and melted away into fucking nothingness. Are you for real? It's all the same? If there's just a little bit more discrimination, I'd be fine with the trans movement, but there isn't. And so taking that into account, niggas just gotta push back on it. I feel bad if you're one of those trans people who's just gonna live the rest of their life terribly unhappy, considering killing themselves because they didn't transition as well as they wanted to because they started their transition late. But honestly, I'd rather have those people than people who transition and it was a mistake. Because I think that being trans is bad. And not even from like a moral, like, I mean, it is kind of moral, kind of, but not even from like a religious kind of perspective. Just from like, if you could choose, they used to say this about gay people all the time. If you could choose to be not trans or trans, which would you choose? It's not even a question. It's only somebody who's delusional and mentally ill who would say, oh, I love being trans. No, you don't. You're tricking yourself. Or you're delusional enough to believe that. But there's nothing good at all about having a discord between your mind and your body, so much so that you have to medicate yourself and then get surgery. There's nothing good about it. There never could be anything good about it. So, yes, it's probably not good for little kids to be deciding whether or not they're trans. I think there might be some instances in which that might be appropriate, but we just don't know. And a large reason for why we don't know is because there's no real diagnostic process, it's seemingly, that anybody goes through to be able to determine. It's just all gender affirming. Oh, you said it's true, then it is true. Stupid dumb dog shit like that.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that they either passed or are trying to pass a law in LA that states if your child comes to you and asks to do some of these things and you say no, they can take your kid from you.
Yeah, that's true. Just passed in California.
That makes no sense.
They want us to have no control over our children.
I don't get it.
In schools,
I don't get it.
Hospitals, libraries.
Yeah.
They just want to manipulate.
Library?
You got to understand when they're so young and they're already
Impressionable.
That's right.
Mhm.
And from them, they're gonna believe what you say. I mean,
Yeah.
we say Santa Claus is real. You know, the
And they
Easter Bunny.
believe it. Like,
right?
come on.
Exactly.
Like, you gotta
They know what they're doing.
remember who you're dealing with. Like, I can't take credit for it, but I heard somebody say one time, he's like, all right, if your son comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl, ask your son, what is a girl?
That's a good one.
What is he gonna do? He's gonna say, well, he might want to play with dolls. All right, you want to play with dolls? Fine, play with dolls.
Right.
But you're a boy
Right.
playing with dolls.
That's
I want
right.
to wear pink. All right, cool, wear pink. But you're a boy
That's right.
wearing pink.
I was a town boy. I still love boy sneakers and I love my baseball cap. Doesn't mean I want to be a man.
Right.
I just like
style preference is
That's
one thing.
right.
Gender selection is
But
a
I like
whole
playing
other
sports
thing.
too. Doesn't mean that I should become a boy.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So yeah, I'm glad we touched
Real
on
world
that.
we
We totally
live in.
went off topic, but I love
Yeah,
it.
I will ramble.
I
so
love
you
it.
just-
No, I
give
love
me
it.
the
I love
wrap-up
it.
sign.
So obviously, I agree with all that. The entire transgender ideology, it just falls apart at the slightest bit of scrutiny. It doesn't make any sense. And like, legitimately, you can just ask them, what does it mean to be a girl? And they say some stupid dog shit like, anybody who thinks they are. I mean, I don't think your child, who may or may not have these feelings, would have, you know, the Rolodex of transgender arguments for them to go through. Well, anybody that thinks they're a girl is a girl. Doesn't make any sense. Fuck that stupid shit. Just identifying as something doesn't make you that thing. There are qualities. To be a thing, you have to exhibit some of the qualities that we associate with that thing. You can't be a thing just because you say, well, I think I'm that thing. That doesn't work at all in any other way, shape, or form in any other place in existence. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. You are a thing if you exhibit the qualities of that thing. Anywho, so after that, a lot of backlash. Neo issues apology to the LGBTQIA plus community after making anti-trans comments during a recent podcast appearance. Gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic so I can approach future conversations with more empathy. After much reflection, I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate for love and inclusivity in the LGBTQI plus community, so I understand how my comments could have been interpreted as insensitive and offensive. Gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic so I can approach future conversations with more empathy. At the end of the day, I lead with love and support everyone's freedom of expression and pursuit of happiness. So, nigga saw the tweet. No, they got him on your knees, nigga. They went to him. They said, on your knees, kiss the ring. You better apologize. Are you stupid? On his knees, he apologized. But then, he made a video on his Instagram. Let's watch it. Is it 1X? Yeah, 1X.
What's going on, loved ones? This is Neo. All right, listen. I normally don't give too much of a damn about what y'all think about what I do, what y'all have to say about what
See the lone wolf hat? Sigma.
I say, whatever. I normally don't care because, like I said, opinions ain't special. Everybody got one. However, this is something I feel very strongly on, and I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out. First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow me. I ain't asked nobody to agree with me. I was asked a question and I answered the damn question, okay? I have no beef with the LGBTQIA plus community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I don't care. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book, anywhere or any opinion that somebody's gonna tell me that's gonna make me okay with letting a child make a decision like that. That's just period, point blank, and that's how I feel. If I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a Neo no more, all right? And I got no problem with that. I'm a hustler, all right? I'll figure it out. I got kids to raise, and I'm gonna do that regardless. So with that being said, y'all have a good day. I love everybody. Live how you want to live, love how you want to love, but your opinion is yours. Speak your opinion as much as you damn well feel like it. Because as I said, they're not important, they're not special. Everybody got one, and you're entitled to it. I'm entitled to mine. All right? Y'all feel how y'all want to feel. Have a great day. It's Neo. Peace.
Okay. So basically, I guess the general gist of this video is, look, if you felt bad, sorry, but I still feel the way I want to feel. I might be uneducated. You can do what you want with your kids, but I might think that what you're doing with your kids is stupid. It is what it is. Maybe one day I'll look into it and I'll disagree with that opinion that I have right now. But for now, that shit doesn't make any sense, and I don't think it's right. It's a decent opinion to hold. It's a little bit cucked. It's a little bit cucked. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. But it's fine. Honestly, I think that I think in our society people are too obsessed with trying to get everybody on the same page. I think it's okay for people to have different opinions. Especially on contentious issues like the trans issue. That's the worst part about it. Oh. You have to understand, I fight hard every day not to be a transphobe. I do. And some people might say that I am one. I don't think I am. But some people might say that I am one. But I fight hard every day not to be a transphobe. Because the trans movement is just so dog shit. It's such a contentious issue like the trans issue. I feel like people should be able to speak openly about how they feel. Not everybody's going to agree. But, I guess I can understand the impulse to not allow people to speak their truth say how they feel, if the justification that you give for the urgency with which you push this ideology is people are killing themselves. Yeah, I guess I can get it then. But I don't give a fuck! Not enough for me not to be able to talk. I can't say what I want. It's the First Amendment, number 1. But I don't know. Anywho, if you like the video, like it. Let me know down in the comment section below whether or not you stand with Neo, you don't, you agree or you disagree on my assessment of the gender movement, specifically how they try to rope everything in and how they try to make allusions to past civil rights movements as if their issue is the same as this issue. And subscribe to the channel. Peace out.